Hi there, my name's Ed from Hutch Architecture. In this video I'd like to talk you through the first phase in designing and constructing your home. If you've watched one of my other videos, you'll understand that there are 4 distinct phases that are required in the process of designing and constructing your home. Phase 1 is the feasibility stage, which is arguably the most important phase of all. In this phase we look to establish your requirements for your home, your aspirations, review the types of home that you like, and also review your existing home or the site in which you will wish to build a home, review council requirements, and establish whether what you want to achieve is possible within your budget. What I'd like to do is talk you through several documents and the process I undertake with you to establish whether your home is feasible. The first step, in this process of establishing your feasibility for your home is a discovery call. These calls can be booked via a link on my Instagram page. Simply clicking on the link, you'll open a calendar, and from there you can book a free 30-minute discovery call. This call can be either over the phone, a Zoom meeting, or face-to-face in my office. I do recommend Zoom or face-to-face if possible. I just find it easy to communicate what you're looking to achieve. I'll also have some information that I'll share on my screen that provides more benefit to you. Once you've booked the discovery call, you'll be sent a link to a short online questionnaire. In this questionnaire, we ask you for some basic information about your aspirations. What I'd like to do is just share with you this questionnaire that somebody else has completed from a previous project. I've obviously removed some of the confidential information, but what we're looking to get an understanding of is the high-level requirements for your home. How many people live in the home, any children, any special circumstances, i.e. extended family, whether you intend to live in the home or is it an investment, the intent of the renovation. So what I'm trying to do here is get you to step back and go, what is the end result that I am looking to achieve? I'd like to know what you like about the home, what you'd like to improve, what excites you about the process, and also what concerns you. You can see in this particular example, this was a home in a heritage area. The homeowner was concerned about heritage restrictions and also whether the neighbours would impact the outcome. Very importantly, I ask you to share your budget. In this particular instance, I could highlight very early that the $500,000 budget allowance was not going to be sufficient for the intent of the renovation and extension. That very quickly allowed us to understand, well, do we need to change the requirements or do we need to increase the budget? I also ask for some inspiration. Often people have spent a lot of time on Pinterest, Instagram, house websites, various other places, and they have a good idea of the kind of homes that they like. So this document will be used, I guess, as the agenda for the project discovery call. We'll talk through this. I'll often have done a small amount of research. I may have found a plan of the existing home. I'll have done a bit of research online, looked at the street, looked at what's happening around you, looked at some of the high-level council requirements, so that when we have a call, I can give you some information that is useful for you and provide you with a little bit more clarity on what you can achieve. Following the discovery call, I will summarise what we discussed and provide you with an outline of the overall process that we suggest moving forward. Usually if there's an existing home, there's a check measure, so that is checking that the house is the size that we think it is. If there is an existing plan available, we will use that and check the dimensions, make sure everything is roughly as we expect. In this first stage, the feasibility phase, what we're looking to produce are some conceptual planning options. So these are fairly basic plans that show you what can be achieved. We also provide options for some three-dimensional modelling, which we did undertake in this project. I also produce what I call a site assessment report. This is a document that reviews council requirements, looks at the planning options that we've produced, and highlights whether there are any areas that won't comply, and outline all the areas that do comply. This is very important information, gives you some comfort when we're moving forward into the next phases. Can we achieve what you want to achieve? The other part of this phase is for us to gain some knowledge of costs. Most people come to me and they really want to know what is the home going to cost. It's obviously very difficult to know accurately what the home will cost at this stage, but we often suggest that a local builder be involved, or we can have another consultant called a quantity surveyor prepare an estimate and give you an understanding of the overall costs. What I'd like to do is show you an example of how I work and how we prepare this feasibility option. So this is some of the software that I use. From our initial site inspection and from our check measure, I will first of all produce existing drawings of the home. So we'll look at the existing layout. This is on the assumption that there is an existing home. Obviously, if you're building a new home, that won't be the case. I then prepare options that address your requirements, the requirements that we discussed in our discovery call and that you completed in your questionnaire. This particular home is a home in a heritage conservation area. We were looking to add 2 bedrooms at the first floor level, which you will see here, and renovate the existing home. New kitchen, laundry, ensuite, courtyard space at the rear. Now for this project we also prepared some very, very rough 3-dimensional models. Now this is not intended to show exactly what the building will look like. It just gives an idea of the type of form that we may expect. This allows us to assess overshadowing, for example, and also privacy, some of the major issues that we look to address in terms of development approval. In terms of the documents that you receive as part of the feasibility stage, again, if I flick back to this document, here are the plans that we produced for this particular feasibility study. So the floor plans that you just saw. We also produced what we call a demolition plan. This shows the elements of the house that are being demolished. We then produced some very simple 3-dimensional images just to get an idea of the potential form of the building. I do say that this isn't really a design as such, it's very, very basic information, but it gives you an idea of what you can expect. I then also produce a high-level report that talks through council requirements and the requirements that we need to satisfy if we move forward into the next stage of the project and if we are to submit a development application. So you see here a list of all the council requirements and some commentary on whether we anticipate complying with council requirements or not. Sometimes we don't comply with council requirements. That's okay, we are able to justify that. The key here is to know that we're not compliant and to be able to be confident that we can achieve approval from council. So this is a useful document, gives you some confidence that you can move forward and achieve compliance with council requirements. The plans are then also used, as I say, to get an estimate for the building cost. They are quite simple in terms of plans. We've not talked about materials, finishes, we've not looked at structural issues, but there is sufficient information for either a local builder or a quantity surveyor to assess the approximate cost of the project. So that gives you an overview of the overall process of establishing feasibility. We talk to you, we assess what you would like to achieve, we review council requirements, we visit the project, assess the context, look at how we may impact neighbouring projects, neighbouring homes should I say. We engage with a local builder or a quantity surveyor to assess the overall cost. We also, in some circumstances, recommend you discuss the renovation or the new home with a local real estate agent. This can be useful to assess how much your home is likely to be worth when you complete the renovation. It's very useful to understand the cost of your project, the cost of your home build, should I say, and also what it will be worth at the end. With that information, it can help you move forward with confidence and understand, is your project feasible? Once we've been through phase one, if it looks like your project is feasible, then we can then move forward into phase two, design development. I hope this has been useful. If you would like to book a discovery call, there's a link on my Instagram site that you can book. There's also a link on the landing page that you found this video in. Thank you.